Let's talk about fear. Not the kind that keeps you from petting a wild bear in the forest. I'm talking about the deeper kind. The kind that was installed in you. Because most of what you call fear isn't even yours. It was programmed, layered on you, used to keep you contained. And if you're one of the chosen, the awakened, the seers, the ones whose presence shifts energy before you even speak, then fear was the first weapon used against you. Not fists, not fire, fear. If you're feeling fear right now, don't run from it. That fear is proof you're standing at the edge of your power, and they know it. This isn't about fear as a feeling. This is about fear as a weapon, and why it gets aimed hardest at the ones waking up to the matrix. True fear is simply a biological and spiritual response to perceived danger. It's not inherently bad. It evolved to protect, alert, and preserve life. But in modern environments, fear has been intercepted. What was once a signal for protection has become a tool for manipulation, paralysis, and control. On a biological level, fear triggers your amygdala, the brain's alarm system. You enter fight, flight, or freeze mode. Your body pumps cortisol and adrenaline, narrows vision and blood flow, and prepares you to survive, not to think. It's useful in battle, yet destructive in a manipulated society. Because when you're in constant fear, you stop accessing the higher mind. Fear is the oldest trick in the book because it hijacks your nervous system. It bypasses logic. It overrides memory. It confuses intuition. And the real sick part? Fear makes you cooperate with your own imprisonment. You stop before anyone else can even stop you. You censor yourself. You dim down not because someone forced you to, but because fear whispered, "What if they don't accept you?" And the moment you listen, your frequency drops. You need to understand, fear is not always loud. It doesn't always look like screaming or a panic attack. Sometimes it looks like procrastination, playing it safe, staying quiet when your soul wants to roar, asking for permission to be who you already are. That's not strategy. That's not humility. That's fear in disguise. And this fear isn't just emotional, it's energetic. They study it. They broadcast it. They feed on it. Because a person in fear is easy to manage. They stay predictable. They stay plugged in. They stay dependent on a system that gives them fake safety. Now, why is it used against the chosen ones? Because if you rise, the whole system gets turbulent. If you remember who you are, others start remembering too. So what do? They build walls of fear around your purpose. They hijack your childhood. They create social rules that punish those who stand out. They put trauma in your path early so you doubt yourself before your gifts fully activate. It's not random. It's by design. Because the moment you realize fear is a lie, the game changes. See, fear isn't evil on its own. It was meant to be a short-term alarm, not a lifestyle. Fear was supposed to be a signal, not a shackle. But when it's manipulated, it becomes a cage that doesn't even need locks. You lock it from the inside. You've got people with power they've never touched. Because every time they try, the fear rises. What if you fail? What if you lose people? What if you're wrong? Let me ask you this. When has fear ever told you the truth? When has it ever guided you to something divine? It doesn't. It guides you to bondage. It guides you to hide. It guides you to bury your calling just to be light. But that was never your job. Your job was to be a signal, not a slave. And if fear is a lie, then your courage is truth incarnate. You weren't built to be ruled. You weren't built to sit quietly in systems that poison your spirit. And deep down you know it. That anxiety in your chest, that heaviness in rooms where you're not seen, that ache you feel when you don't act on your visions, that's not fear. That's your soul pushing against the cage. That's your divinity demanding exit from a lie. Because fear is a wall until you walk through it. Then you realize it was just paper. See, on a soul level, fear is the guardian of thresholds. Before every major breakthrough, fear stands at the gate. Are you sure you want to go through this door? It tests your intent, your clarity, your alignment. In this way, fear isn't the enemy. It's a gatekeeper. But in a world where people avoid discomfort at all costs, fear becomes the ultimate false god. People bow to it, design lives around it, confuse it for truth. And that's when it becomes toxic. So walk through it. Speak even when your voice shakes. Keep moving even when your feet are sore. Because they can only trap you with fear as long as you still believe in it. And the moment you stop, they lose. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to remember that. Fear is a lie, and the chosen were never meant to obey lies. We are here to break them.